この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo. It is Friday, and so I am here for the mid-season finale of Princess Choo-Choo. We're on episode 13. The stage is set. The players are ready. The ball is rolling down the hill. All the dominoes are lined up. We're in a pretty interesting place in Princess Tutu. Usually we don't have any idea quite what's going to happen in the next episode, but now we're in a situation where everything seems pretty well set up and planned out for. There's a final battle for the heart and soul of Muto, our prince, or some of our prince. Fakir and Ahiru have managed to ally themselves and really come to understand each other much better than they have before. And Rue is just waiting with the full blessing of motherfucking Drosselmeyer to create the most interesting final performance possible. There are a couple of interesting things here. Interesting thing number one, this is not the end of the series. It could be, but it's not. So probably something's gonna go wrong. I don't know how wrong. Maybe we get victory, but then things don't work out the way we expect. But I don't know, and I want to stay away from any kind of specific anything. And speak about this episode in the vaguest of terms, because as much as I think that the next few steps are pretty well planned out and pretty well set up, we're going to arrive in the place. We're probably going to talk and monologue a little bit. We're probably going to get some insight into Rue, just a little bit. Probably going to get some overtures from Drosselmeyer talking about how happy he is that this is finally happening. We'll see, and then dance battles will probably begin. And dance battles will probably be the entire fucking episode, but we'll see. Beyond that, I really don't know how this is actually going to play. And the biggest reason for that is we can't expect good storytelling, and we can't expect traditional storytelling. We can't really expect anything, because we're in so many meta layers of people being or not being in control of the stories that they have written and or their own tales that anything can happen. What I mean is, if Drosselmeyer's system didn't exist, if we didn't have a sadistic, almost villainous god figurehead character who had goals that weren't necessarily oriented in the direction of good writing, then we could probably predict the way that this is going to play out, right? Like, Ahiru's probably going to win eventually, probably with direct help from Fakir, as they've come to, like, the same sort of agreement about what they want to do about Muto in the next episodes. They're going to dance it the fuck out, and it's going to be badass, and Rue's going to get all scared and run away, and then we'll save Muto and restore his heart. But Rue's fucking with everybody, including Drosselmeyer, and Drosselmeyer doesn't care if the story ends happily. He just wants it to end interestingly. So anything can happen here? It's kind of a magical situation that's been created by the writing of Princess Tutu to create this ending to a story that should be eminently predictable, and yet, I have no idea what's actually going to happen. Part of me thinks that there's going to be, like, a full reset of some strange variety that, like, wipes everything that we've done up until this point away so that we can restart with our characters in a weird way, because that would be a really great way to redo a season. That's just a random option. There are so many choices. If you can't tell, I'm really excited to figure out what is actually going to happen in these next couple of episodes, or in this next episode, and then in the first episode of the second season to figure out how the fuck we're transitioning into a second season. Like, what is the point of the second season? Because it feels like we've been pretty straightforwardly goal-oriented toward this saving the heart thing, but, like, there's other stuff in the world, so I don't know. All I know is that every episode of Princess Tutu has dragged me deeper and deeper into this story and into being genuinely infatuated with these characters, and I really want to know what happens to them and what they choose to do. Now, there are a couple of other key points that we need to just refresh our memories on, because I think they might come into play. Because this is the mid-season finale, and, like, when else are you going to have them come into play? Okay, the first one is a line that we've talked about many times. Those who follow their destiny will find happiness. Those who defy their destiny will find glory. I don't know who that refers to yet, but maybe it refers to somebody, and we'll probably understand when it happens that it's happening. Keep it in mind. Second thing, Rue, and thus Claire, knows Tutu's greatest weakness, narrative weakness, the one that's written into her character, and that is that if Rue can somehow corner Ahiru Tutu into saying the thing about Muto, into expressing her love for Muto, she wins. Rue wins. Just flat out, insta DQ, turned into a speck of light and vanished. So, I feel like her game, her entire game, is just to try and force that outcome, because that's a full victory for her. And a horrifying one that I don't know if she really wants, because she's got all this like twisted stuff inside her head, and I really want to focus more on the internal turmoil of Rue's character, because I don't feel like she's completely a willing party to this entire situation, but feels like she herself is cornered. And you know, this is the Drosselmeyer classic, right? Nobody is gonna be pleased with the way that this is meant to play out. It is meant to fuck over everybody in the most like overly dramatic way possible, and only through like some really clever acting, like some really clever acts, I should say, by our core characters, and some unexpected things. Like, I feel like Fakir and Ahiru getting to know each other and becoming like a unit, becoming aligned in the same direction, is one of those things that Dross might not have been able to predict, because he may have not seen that future possible for their characters. But I don't know. I don't know how you fuck over God. I don't know how you trick God, the dude who wrote your story. I don't know how you do that. I'm really intrigued to see how we manage any of it. So there's gonna be dance battlings. There's gonna be monologification. There's probably gonna be references to some other ballets. Sweet. We're here for it. I'm here for it. This is probably going to cause my brain to just leak out of my ears. Let's get into it. Cool? Cool. Okay, so I've got episode 13 of Princess Tutu up and ready to go. It is sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. If you would like to do a syncy thing and sync up your own copy of this episode with the timer-based version, you are welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you right now. All right, narrator, hit us. This is just Swan Lake, right? This is just Swan Lake. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that is exactly what happened. Well, that sounds like self-sacrifice. I mean, that is Swan Lake. Well, I mean, but then he, like, kills himself as well, and it gets all weird. But, oh, okay. That seems real straightforward. That basically says Ahiru is going to sacrifice herself to try to save the prince, right? That's what that says straight up. Oh, shit. Okay. Side theory, the one that I put forward before. What if Drosselmeyer is just fucking lying? What if she could just say it and it's fine? Like, what if? How crazy would that be? Could wish for no more than to have him smile. Yup. Oh, Schwan Lake. Schwan Lake. Okay. Yeah, I just had a thought. I kind of want to pause. Because it's a hell of a thought. Why express it in words? Right? Right? We've been doing this the entire season, haven't we? That's what we've been doing the entire fucking season, isn't it? We've been dancing it out. Not sublime words. Why do you need words to discuss? You can use their words to discuss with Rue. But dance for Muto. Oh shit. Levying blame. So you did this. Huh. I don't like that very much. Including you, Rue. What are you gonna say, fuck, here? Right, she still didn't understand his perspective. But he's changed his opinion. Oh shit, she is full doubting. Wow, last episode paid off. Zannen datta na. Fuck. Fuckity fuck, what? The dummy, eh? He's a fucking puppet right now. Oh, bait. Bait. Rue stopped it herself as well. Dance it out, dance it. Sacrifice yourself for... I don't know if that's the same meaning, but okay. Sure, as long as we're agreed. Alright, Ahiru, don't do it. Do it differently. Trick God. True, she a lion bitch. No one. Yes, but she's willing to have him smile without her seeing it. Whoa. I doubt it, but go for it, man. I mean, mad props. I doubt it's gonna work. Oh, what the fuck? This is such a great stage. Yeah, let's go. It's ballet. It's full ballet. Oh my god. This is super fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, no. Lol. Uh-oh. What's going on? Okay. Uh Ooh, no, no, no. Oh, don't say the quack. I don't buy that. Oh, shit. What's up? What's up? Ooh, that cut through the clothing, though. Oh, shit. He defied it. He defied it. Glory, baby. I don't know if he needs to. He just wants the shard, right? Wait, what? That could happen? That can happen? It's your turn now. Yeah, man. Your pathway on stage has now been painted in red with his blood. Go. Now you go. Now we fix some things. That's half the episode? Where did it go? Where is it? Where'd it go? It just disappeared. Huh? You're gonna make her fight a heart shard? Can you do that? Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck! Oh! We're gonna animate the whole thing? Oh my god. The original story. An alternate form of expression that can... Yeah. Yeah. Ah. Oh, Rue, I don't know. I think Chuchu has demonstrated her ability to dance you under the table. But of course she'll contest it. As the crow. As the duck. Does Rue seem oddly pleased by this outcome? Yeah, she knows. This is a breakthrough moment incoming. Ooh. No, 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 no. You can be more than a duck. Does it matter? Ah, she is faltering and faltering. Nope. Purpose, 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 goal, 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 goal. Reason, reason, reason. Music cut. Bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Come on, you're willing to sacrifice everything for him. Surely you can sacrifice your own insecurities. You've made promises. You've made promises. Ooh, all as one. Ooh. Is it? Look at Muto. He's entranced. He's there. Just that fucking good. Oh my god, it works on a metaphorical. Ah! Holy shit. And she falls down and gets the fuck back up, but he wants to. He sees it. No, he sees it. Oh my god, how are you even? And she didn't turn into a spark of light. Hello, Muto. You a real boy right now? You about to be a real boy? You wanna be a real boy? Ain't no way Rue's letting that fly. He's got iris. He's got pupils now. Hey, he's got eyes and a smile. What's up? Alright, I'm waiting for a shoe to drop. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Oh, no. Full defeat. Ooh. I feel so bad for Rue. Best of love, baby. Well, here's the other shoe dropping. Is this the crow? Or is this Dross? And where is Fakir exactly? Wasn't he underwater? What happens when the water turns into crows? Darkness. Is that... Wait, is that Edel though? That sounded like Edel. It wasn't the lantern. Not the candle lady. The oil lamp. Oh shit. Fakir's alive. And we're running through OP stuff. But we've got many minutes left. Big not trusting. Is she standing in the fire right now? Tell me she's not standing in the fire right now, right? So Edel definitely remembered that. Why are you standing in the fire? I don't understand. Oh god, Edel! What the fuck? Yeah, sure. Okay. This is an entirely different... Yeah, okay. It's an additional... And a key change. Bullshit. Well, that's way too clean cut. Yeah, wishing. Wishing. Okay, here we go. That's what I thought. Hit us with that other shoe. Right. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Whoa, that was really cool. That was such a well done episode. That was such a well done episode. I wish Drosselmeyer hadn't said those words earlier. About your perfect sublime words. Because it would have been a little bit more of a shock when the final like twist of fate thing happened. But then now I'm questioning everything because Drosselmeyer's lines at the end. Like I can't tell whether it's just the staff and the writers of the actual show kind of fucking with us and being like, Drosselmeyer really planned for all this shit. It's just to make a more interesting story because we got characters who've been told over and over that their fate is inescapable and then they escape fate and that's the dopest shit. Drosselmeyer got his wish. But is that true? Or is he just taking credit for what his characters did on their own? Could he have predicted it? Could he have known? Could he have seen this coming? We don't know. And then there's Rue's part in the entire thing, which is amazing. And then there's Ahiru's part in the entire thing, which is amazing. And then there's Fakir's. Okay, on a surface level, just like the intro narration, this, on a very surface level, is one of the simplest, most straightforward episodes of Princess Tutu that we've had. And that makes sense, given the amount of setup that we had going toward it, and how relatively clear-cut that setup stuff was, right? Stage is set, Rue's there, prize is the prince, Rue has done some shit to his heart, characters are aligned with one another, they walk in. Other setups include being real nice to Edel and her making some eyes, which then pays off into, why did she burn alive? I don't really understand, but okay. Not sure. Not sure on that front, but that's getting into the nitty-gritty and the details and stuff, and we're just looking on a very superficial surface level. Our opening narration is the story of Swan Lake, which ends with the lovers together, although dead. Like, whatever, okay, whatever, being dead, it doesn't matter. It's a pretty simple, like, fairy tale-esque, straightforward-y type of story, right? And this episode presents its own story in the same sort of way. There are some twists and turns to it, certainly. But our characters arrive, our villain is villainous, we dance it out, we win the affections of the prince, Fakir does a self-sacrifice, but then he's not dead. He does a self-sacrifice and gets his shirt all torn in the exact places where it would have killed him, but doesn't die from it, which is pretty cool. Everybody lives happily ever after. But then there's so much left hanging. Thing left hanging number 1. Core character of the show, Rue, she's in an internal psychological turmoil. She just got rejected by the one human being that she seems to care about in any capacity, and just got swallowed into darkness, which seems to be her element. after repeatedly over the course of this entire conflict saying things like, even though no one wished it, like nobody wanted this ball rolling. Like, the only thing that I feel for Rue after the scene when she disappears is pity and compassion. That girl does not deserve what she's being put through. Not that she should win. That would be much worse for everybody. But okay, let's add some more threads that mess things up for our perfect storybook ending here. Apparently that ball is in motion. Apparently these are events from Prince Unrabe that are now set into motion and cannot be stopped. Sounds like a potential plot for a second season. What if the big bad storybook villain, who was never killed, only sealed away through whatever process it was that shattered Muto's heart in the first place, what if it starts coming back? And what if he enters this world and decides to set it aflame? That could go badly. And it could be a story that nobody's prepared for. What we've done over the last 13 episodes of Princess Tutu is manifest an ending that's almost like it's the logical outcome of the pieces of stories that we know. Does that mean that we're now in uncharted territory, unwritten ground? I don't know. I don't know. Swore love unintentionally to the Black Swan, was willing to sacrifice herself for that. And I mean, the whole internal emotional setup is boom right here in the first moments. It's Ahiru's original goal coming to fruition. Someday I may be able to put a smile on his face, and if that's something I could do, then I could wish for no more. Now that's extended later when she says that, like, as long as he can be okay, I'm completely down to disappear, as long as people are nicer to him when I'm gone. Whew, that is some glorious selflessness. But it ends up being a brilliant play. But to save the prince, you have no choice but to speak of your love. Wrong. Wrong. Not if they speak another language. And then there's the meta argument there, which is, it's kind of like the same meta argument that Symphogear has for music, which is that there are alternate forms of communication that can express things that either can't or shouldn't be expressed through words, and can do it really well, and dance is one of them. And I think that this episode does an amazing job, not only narratively, but visually supporting that thesis and expressing a lot to us via dance. I also just have to shout out that I love the setting. This location for this battleground is amazing. The reflective surface of the water, the sort of like shattered ice things that are everywhere, it's amazing. And then we get this conversation, and the entire vibe of this conversation is like, weird random analogy. Imagine you're working in retail, just because that's what popped in my mind. You're working in retail, and you're new on the job, and you decide to do something really cool. You decide to like rearrange the whole store and put all the different things that your store sells into a different arrangement because you think it'll be better for whatever. And you think, oh man, my manager is gonna be so proud of me when he comes back and comes and opens work tomorrow and sees that all of this has been rearranged. And the manager shows up. And then the manager brings you into his office. He's like, hey, I get that you were trying to do good here, but there's a system to all of this, and you just cost us thousands and thousands of dollars in like man hours, and I'm gonna get screwed over by my bosses because of this. That's the vibe that I get from this whole circumstance is, hey, little duck Ahiru I understand you're trying to do something good here that you think is right, but you have no idea what the greater context is, and you just fucked up. It's super condescending, but from a position of genuine authority from that Rue is talking in. That's the vibe that I get. That's not necessarily saying that she's right, but she's just admonishing Ahiru Tutu for all of this. Just like, look, you stupid. The tail will begin to move once again. It's already in motion. You don't know what you've wrought. And that genuinely scares me. The night will eventually be torn in two and die. Princess Tutu will become a speck of light and vanish. Question. Have we escaped those fates? Or have we just been tricked? Because this is not the end. We'll see. We'll see. That is the outline that has been set. I also really like the split screen here. That the lighting of the regions is different enough to really get the vibe of it, but it's not like a dramatic multicolored split screen or anything. It's just super dope. Isn't that right, Fakir? And at that moment, finally, Ahiru understands what Fakir has been doing. She doubts herself completely. And last episode's understanding of each other, boom, comes into play. That was true before. We're now agreed. Muto wants his heart back. Ahiru and me, we're in it together. Fuck yes. In the moment where Ahiru was doubting, you are now the only one. Now you're the odd one out, Rue. Ooh. Not necessarily that they're all right about being the ones, like, who do want his heart to change, because I don't know that that's actually going to be good in the long term. We'll see. We'll see. Because there are some questions about how much Drosselmeyer actually planned all this, and we just can't know. We can't know, because he's an arrogant fuckboy who would take credit for it if he didn't, and who would also tell us if he did. So he might have planned all of this, and this might be part of the story that he's intending to tell. It's certainly part of the story that the actual authors, who are the people behind Drosselmeyer, want to tell. But then it gets all wiggity wankety meta, because you got the real meta of the real authors really writing the story, and then you've got the faux author who's a fuckboy. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's so much. Okay. This moment, this whole sequence from Fakir is fantastic. We bring, quote unquote, bring Muto back. The whole, like, box turning into feather things that turn into a crow-like creature that just holds the shard is freaking interesting. And then bait. As we said at the very beginning, Rue's whole game plan is get Ahiru Tutu to say the thing, and then she dies, and you win. Boom. Easy. So put the thing in danger and force her hand. Try to make her say something into tiny little pieces. And they both yell, stop. And of course, he follows Rue's order. Rue doesn't actually want to destroy his heart. She wants to own it. She wants to possess it. Her threat is hollow. It's quite empty. She can't do what she's threatening to do. She won't. Still works. So, doesn't matter too much. But I think that's a little shred of interesting stuff from Rue. However twisted her emotions are, they are founded on a genuine interest and affection for Muto. Some level of genuineness there. It's twisted as fuck, but I guess I have no choice. All right? But in exchange, this is like the most beautifully selfless thing. Just don't be mean to Muto. As a side note, in just a general sense, I think that the general facial expressions and expressioniness of the characters, expressiveness is the word that I was seeking right there, is fantastic all throughout this episode. Here's an example right here. The immediate, like, shock that Rue has, that Ahiru would ask something like that, and then into like a cynical smirk, into the little giggle. Okay, that's what you'd ask for. Of course it is. Sure. I'll love him a bunch. No worries. Of course. Okay then. Cool. We'll do it. And Fakir finds his stones and decides to step up for himself. Yeah. True. No one else but you. I think this line is super interesting. No one else but you could smilingly accept the fate of Princess Tutu. Is that because of who Ahiru is or who Tutu is? It's impossible to know, right? Which came first, the Tutu or the self-sacrifice? Either way, the respect from Fakir toward Ahiru is obvious, and I am here for it. I dig it a lot. Big time. Okay, so we enter into Dance Battle Stage 1, The Goons from the Sky. And the ballet begins in earnest. I think that this whole sequence is just dope sauce McMuffins. It's so cool. These crazy, all in unison crow ballet dancers are amazing. They are so cool looking. Every sequence when they actually clash, when they all come in as though choreographed, every dance-ified movement of Fakir and them creates this beautiful fucking thing. Poses and dopeness abound, and so do more crazy crow things. But man, it's we got the sequence of Fakir dancing out his turmoil alone, in dark clothing, and there's clear visual like matchery going on here. In fact, I think this like moment of a flippity dippity thing is pretty close to something that he did when he was dancing alone. So it all intertwines, it all entangles within itself. It's pretty fucking cool, just in general. Now, I mean, production-wise, it's neat. It's straightforward. It's a lot of classic-y, zoomy frames and sparkly lights. I got no problem with it. I am pleased as punch with this whole sequence. The framing of it and the just general badassery of Fakir is super nice. And then this happens. I really don't understand what happens here, but it's bad. We know that. Arrows of crow pain, and this is the moment when Fakir should die, right? This is when he should get chopped up by the crow. But then he doesn't. I'm going to count that as a bit of a thread. Why isn't he dead? He's got those cuts in exactly the places where his scars are. Or will be. Why isn't he dead? There's no magical, like, explanification of that. There's no, like, pocket watch that blocked the bullet or whatever, you know? He's just sort of not dead. Okay. I think this whole sequence is fantastic. I was not under the impression that Fakir was going to die because we've got more episodes. But the whole blood welling up from below is pretty fucking cool. And the genuine loss from Tutu. Genuine emotional, like, hitting rock bottom is pretty fucking cool. Okay, I'd like to pose a question. Do you think that that Edel's statements about fate have come to fruition yet? I'm not sure. I could make the argument that by not dying, Fakir has defied his fate. And by standing back up and then destroying Muto's sword, he has achieved glory. Maybe. And I could make the argument that by expressing her emotions and accepting the potential for her own disappearance, right? Ahiru accepted her fate. And by not dying in the process, she has found some level of happiness and being able to be with Muto. But I don't know. But because in the same phrase, I could flip it, and I could say that Fakir, by defiantly, like, choosing to fight instead of Ahiru in this moment, is accepting the possibility that he will die at the hands of crows. And we could say that Tutu Ahiru, by not choosing to speak out her words and thus turn into a speck of light, defied her fate and thus found glory by defeating Drosselmeyer. It gets all mangly. I said at the beginning that it would probably be pretty clear cut when we get this defy accept thing coming to fruition, but it's not. So it makes me wonder if it's a little bit of a broader reaching prophecy than maybe I thought. I don't know. Anyway, no need to scratch you. We're going for the sword. Did not know that was an option. Note I want to make about the sword. 2 white burbs with long necks. Swans? Both of them white. Does Muto's sword, like, have the souls of something inside of it? I mean, it has always had those swans on its hilt. But, like, just makes me think that there might be something more than symbolism here because of how many burbs that actually matter in this series. Like, all of the burbs matter. So it makes me wonder if they matter. You know, what if Mewtwo's like a swan prince? I don't know. Oh. Then we bring it to a head. This is what I mean by perfect expressions. That defiant look in her eyes. Fucking awesome. And then it's half the episode is gone. How? I don't know. I just don't know how. I will not vanish. And we go super slow-mo. Boom. What a powerful moment. And the dance begins. Such a moment. And I think it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Production at this point just goes off the rails and becomes really fucking awesome. Or stays on the rails, but puts more coal in the engine. I don't know how to make that analogy work. It just gets really good, okay? I like it. I like it. The attention to detail in her expressions and in ensuring that she maintains a certain level of grace as she's going through these motions, through this choreographed routine. The transitions between sequences and scenes, the face all the way through. It's awesome. It's awesome. And then Rue comes down and starts dancing herself, and they're so very different, but it's so obviously this antagonistic battle of women, of dancers, of humans expressing. So it is Swan Lake, the black swan, the white swan, one against the other. And I find it fantastic. They manage to, multiple times over the course of this dancing sequence, have both characters perform the same motions with completely different feeling, completely different grace. Rue's got the clawed hands almost always, and part of it is her outfit and like the spikiness of her dress, but like Ahiru's got this very graceful, like, with the wrists, while Rue is keeping hers locked in these claws, and her shoulders are tighter, you know? Rue's more mechanical, almost marchy in some of her motions. Even if they end up in the same place. You cannot win against me. I don't know, dude. She's doing a pretty damn good job. So, we come to the break the cutie or make the cutie kind of moment here, which is Ahiru's dealt with a lot of shit, and I mean she's taken a lot of shit from a lot of people about herself, and a lot of it from herself around being a stupid duck and being a shitty dancer and blah blah, being useless and all this stuff. So two things can happen when you pile all that onto a character in a pivotal moment. Either they break, which can be great, but it's not the circumstance for that in this series, or they figure out a way to phrase why they will double down regardless. Why will all of this difficult stuff that they've experienced in their past cause them to look even more strongly toward the future? And that's exactly what we do. And we do it pitch motherfucking perfectly. What is the problem? I am just a duck. Even as a girl, I suck. Boom, boom, boom. Reasons that you suck. And so she starts to falter. And in doing so, she begins to question herself. Is my ability to dance Tutu or me? She's faltering, faltering, faltering. And Muto is making his choice. You are my princess. I love you. No. No, I can't give up at this moment. Not now. Not when he has requested this of me. The truth is, I was only a duck until I became a duck with a goal, and then was given the means to achieve that goal. But it was the instillment of that goal. It was seeing the prince. It was seeing Muto that changed her. Really changed her. So, it comes around. She sets her brow. Fakir as well. Everyone as well. Three-part transition. Boom. Boom. Mirroring the OP when she does the transition human and duck, but adding Tutu to it. Right now, I am Princess Tutu. But you're also yourself, right? And if you were to give up, you would go back to being a simple duck. But if you charge forward, you can maintain this. And I get the vibe from her dance that she accepts that part of herself. Right? And she dances a pas de deux. Alone. Impossible. But sheer desire to make it so makes it happen. I want you to dance with me. And we get that exact frame later when they're actually dancing together. All of the animation is so glorious. There's such a perfect tension to that. Wow. Like, I can feel my hip flexors getting tense by that stretch. And then rebounding as she... What the fuck? So Rue continues spinning in her own way back there, while Ahiru is putting on an absolutely legendary level of performance. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about the duo moves? You can't dance alone. If I have you, I can change. And you're damn right she does. impossible leap, a lift, and she falls. But she gets back up, because the emotion within the dance matters more than the execution. And we see her strain and struggle at the edge of what she can do. Even as Tutu, in the same way that Rue did in the Giselle episode. But she keeps going. She doesn't fall. She doesn't falter. And it begins to work. It works completely. And he's back. And we see it on her face. After all this, after all the villainy, after all of the snarky comments, after all of the berating Ahiru, berating Tutu, after everything, what we get is just this resigned, sad look in her eyes. Shoulders slumped. That perfect posture lost. She's defeated. She knows it. And all I feel for her in this moment is pity. A character forced into this role that she explicitly, quote, even though no one wished it. And now the one thing that she's been clinging to, which is her puppet automaton Muto, has been taken from her by her antithesis. Literally her antithesis, who chose to change, as opposed to her who was changed by an outside force. Yeah, literally her antithesis. Oof. Big oof for Rue. No matter what I do, my feelings don't get through. I'm not going to say that she's necessarily learned her lesson, though. I get the distinct impression she's going to try some bullshit again and maybe get a little bit more twisted in her time in the darkness. I would love a let's save Rue from herself plotline for a little while. That would be really cool. Okay, heart shard, love, boom, and everything destroys itself and turns into crows. Okay. Interesting. We discover that we are in a dark underground location. We see a light. And we find it. And it's, Edel is... Did she light herself and her clockwork, like, pushcart thing on fire to give them a beacon to... Is that why she's dead? Because I didn't really get an explanation for why there was a fire there. Was she burning herself? To give a beacon for them to follow? Oh. Okay. Okay. That actually makes more sense. Because I had no idea what was going on. I guess I want to see what's underneath her. What's at her feet. Yeah, it's the little horn thing part of it. That is it. Okay. So that her cart thing is what she's burning. Why is she standing in it as well? Don't really understand the reason that she needs to kill herself here. Maybe it's something we just don't understand about the long game with Edel and Drosselmeyer. But then the game's over because now she's dead. What? Okay. As a classic anime thing, using the OP at the ending for emotional context, super dope. Not an OP that you can use for, like, a final fight, boom, climax sort of situation, the way that you could with, like, Kimetsu no Yaiba or something super dope. But for the denouement, as in general, it's perfect. It works super well, and bringing in a second verse to it is also fantastic. So, Edel just burns. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it was you who also guided us. And she says this line, it was merely a simple puppet mimicking the action of humans with emotions. And I don't believe her. I don't think she's right. I think we saw a spark of something in Edel, and I think this moment proves it. But it also proves, like, if Edel was capable of being jealous of humans for their emotions, that in and of itself is a human emotion, right? Damn it, Edel. Why do you have to die here? You really don't. But she has one request. She wants to see them dance. And so they do. And a new stage is filled. Yeah, exactly the same frame. All made manifest. Made real. Fakir unscarred, unscathed. Edel burning away. And a genuinely fantastic looking wide shot dance sequence. Some of those rotating shots are just gorgeous. And really highly detailed. I assume that they drew them much larger and then sized them down. The whole sequence is fantastic. It's everything that we want from a quote-unquote storybook ending. Until the author steps back in for the epilogue and drops the other shoe. Ah, yes. Transcending your fates was always part of the plan. In order to transcend the role given to you and defy fate, there will always be pain and suffering, and nobody wants that. Though you did it not knowing your place, you overcame that and did very well, little duck. But that may also have been part of the fate arranged for you. Mwahaha, you don't know. The story is far from over. There's plenty of room for me to fuck your life up more. Ooh, spooky. Spooky, scary Drosselmeyer. The sense that I get from this ending is not a very fun sense. It's a very scary sense. And I'll try to make an analogy for it. Think of each of our characters as a rat in a maze. And at the end of the maze is cheese. And their entire life, they've just been plopped into the maze. They run around the maze for a while. They find the cheese. They feel good. Nice. Did it. Sweet. Awesome. Then one day, they smell cheese. It's there. It's a little further away than usual. So they explore the maze, seek out the cheese. And the direction that the cheese is coming from, not only is there no cheese, but there's no wall to the maze there. There's a way out, and there's cheese out there. Cheese beyond it. So they take tentative steps outside of the maze that they're familiar with. And it's a wide open world out there. They can do anything. But the cheese is calling to them. So they start wandering around. They go through these huge rooms. Huge hallways. Smelling the cheese. And eventually, one by one, each of them comes across another rat. And they discuss really quickly. Yeah, I was going for some cheese. I got out of the maze that I was in, and now there's cheese somewhere else. Ooh. Okay, let's work together to find it. Okay. Cool. Now, one character, Rue, does not get to find any other rats. She decides to go off on her own, but we'll see about that later. Eventually, all of these little rats, they all converge into one large room, and they find the biggest block of beautiful cheese that any of them have ever seen. And they rejoice, for surely they have escaped the maze and determined their own destiny and found bountiful favors and wonderful things beyond their wildest imaginings within their little maze-centric lives. What the rats don't know is that those big rooms are just part of a much bigger maze. That they've been let out of one layer of box, and that everything that they do from this point on is still within the confines of the defined outline of the maze that they're now in. It's just too big for them to actually understand that they're still in a labyrinth. They're just another layer deeper. And so they celebrate, and they believe themselves autonomous, but they're not. And they cannot even fathom the world outside of their world. They couldn't even fathom this maze outside of their first maze, right? That's the vibe that I get. That they are now thrilled to have gotten this big block of cheese. We're all together, we're all happy, with everything's great. But they're still under lock and key. And they're still just getting what's been doled out by the not-so-benevolent Drosselmeyer, who can take the cheese away. Or, better yet, just reveal to them that they're still in a maze and watch them scramble. He doesn't care. The problem is the lack of choice. All of their choices seem to be their own, but they also are inevitable? I'm scared. It scares me. Like, they don't even know if they don't want cheese. They might like peanut butter. They might really love peanut butter. But they don't know, because they're still playing their roles. Even if part of their role is to transcend their roles. All right, this episode has big time made me do the thonk. Made me do the thonk a lot. I like this episode. I like the way it brings everything together, except for very key threads that are still very much out blowing in the wind. Like Rue. Mostly Rue. Really scared about Rue. What the hell is next season gonna be? I have no idea. I have zero clue. That's amazing. That's genuinely fascinating to me. I feel like season 2 could do anything. Awesome. I think this was a fantastic mid-season finale. Or like a full finale, whatever, man. It's just a really good episode. It's got gorgeous animation and gorgeous choreography and gorgeous flow to it. I mean, the experience of getting to the midpoint of the episode in the mid-roll credits and just not even feeling like 2 minutes have passed, it's a solid indicator of good put-togetherness. A little bit of confusion for me on the Edel burning thing, but that was on my end and not on the show's end. It feels like all of the places where this episode was vague are intentional and possible setups for future stuff, and every place that it was specific and clear-cut was exactly what I wanted. Really well done episode. I love it to pieces. I'm gonna look up staff and stuff, just for fun. Okay, well, no surprise at all. Mamiko Ikeda wrote the episode, and chief director Junichi Sato took on both the storyboarding and episode direction responsibilities on his own, which makes perfect sense for a mid-season finale. Cannot complain one bit. It shows. It shows. It's just a really well put together episode that obviously has a clear vision for what it's going for. Setting up this underground watery stage arena, having Fakir battle it out with a bunch of crow things, the actual emotional revelations all the way through, the genuinely really good characterization and expressiveness of the characters, not only their faces, but in their dance, which is incredibly important when dance is being used to express a core emotion by one of the characters. We better feel it, and we do. I have zero complaints about this episode. It was amazing, and Princess Tutu as a whole, this first season of it, mid-season, whatever you want to call it, has been excellent. I am super excited for next time and next week, and I have no idea what's going to happen. We could do a hard reset. We could do anything. We could open on Muto and Ahiru have been dating for a year, and she's really scared about telling him that she's a duck, and we get 13 episodes of rom-com. Boom. Happy. I mean, maybe I'm not that happy about that, but fine, sure, do it. With these characters, I'm down. I am happy to watch that. This has been an exciting and interesting story so far, and as Drosselmeyer said, it is nowhere near over. So I've been Teeaboo. This has been the mid-season finale of Princess Tutu. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I hope you'll point out anything that I've missed or glazed over or whatever in the comments. I would appreciate it. And I hope to catch you next week to start off the second half of this story. We'll see. I'll see you there. Peace.